Hello and welcome to Art from Heart Beyond the Canvas. I'm Avni, the founder of Art from Heart, and today we'll be diving into the world of art and public speaking. We're really thrilled to have Miss Kristen Link as our guest. Miss Link enables individuals to share stories that spark meaningful change. Though she began her career in tech, earning a computer science degree and working in technical roles at Hewlett Packard, she eventually transitioned into sales, marketing, and leadership training. Through this journey, she discovered her true passion, which was helping people transform complex ideas into clear, compelling messages that truly connect. Today, Miss Link partners with leaders at premier organizations like Amazon, eBay, Miss Magazine, Stanford, GSB, TEDx San Francisco, The Hershey Company, and Zoom. Whether preparing a client for a major keynote or helping them clarify their core message, she brings deep listening, thoughtful questions, and a genuine care to every engagement. At the heart of her work is the belief that stories matter and that real change happens when people feel seen, heard, and empowered to share them. And if there happens to be a dog or some chocolate nearby, she simply can't resist either. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Link. We're really excited to have you as our guest and share your journey with our audience.
Great. Thanks, Avni. Appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. So, first, I would just like to ask you what initially inspired you to pursue your field? I mean, I know you were initially in tech and computer science, but could you just talk a bit more about how you kind of transitioned into public speaking?
Yes, absolutely. So the short answer is fear. I was terrified of public speaking. I was a
Oh,
super
wow.
shy, introverted, nerdy kid.
Uh-huh.
And the thought of speaking in public just was more than I could do. In fact, in high school, I think it was my senior year, actually, we had to just recite a poem. Not a hard thing for the normal person, but for me, it was way too much. And I remember being sweaty and shaky and nervous. And I thought after I did that, I've got to get over this fear of public speaking.
Mm.
So when I went to college, even though I was studying computer science, I forced myself to take this public speaking class. And I have to tell you, Avni, I did not love that class at all. It was so hard for me. It was so challenging. I suffered through it, but I did learn. I got a little bit less terrified and a little bit
Mm.
better. So in time, got over this fear of public speaking. And then when I was in my corporate career at Hewlett Packard, the opportunity was there to take classes, to join Toastmasters, to start to do some
Mm.
public speaking. And as my jobs evolved, as you heard from tech to not so tech, I was doing more and more public speaking. And that's why I started my company in 2017, because I knew the fear and really was hoping that I could help people overcome a fear of public speaking.
Wow, I mean, I think it's just very inspiring that initially it was like a big fear that you had, but that transformed into something that you actually help others with. And I feel like then they would know that you understand where they're coming from too,
Oh,
because
yeah,
you've kind of been in the same situation. So that's very
absolutely.
cool.
I
Yeah.
know those nerves. I know them well.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has like some kind of nerves. Like, I mean, I played piano and I've always had like some stage fright. Like, even now, I still have stage fright, but I feel like it's just the more that you keep like practicing that thing that you're doing and just like getting
Mhm.
comfortable doing it in front of people, I think it just slowly becomes, you become more confident in it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes a huge difference. Repetition.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Awesome. So next I'd kind of like to ask you where you draw inspiration from to stay creative and how do you think creativity kind of connects to public speaking?
Mm. Okay, so in terms of inspiration, gosh, from a lot of places, art is a real big
Mm.
deal for me. I try to see visual art. I try to listen to a lot of music, see a lot of plays, read a lot of books, just
Hmm.
to be surrounded by creativity and people who are creative. I find lately I'm really
Mm.
drawn to creative people because I just love the way their brain thinks, and I want my brain to think that way more. But I must say, my most creative ideas to come to me when I'm in motion, when I'm running, when I'm
Mm.
hiking, doing yoga, swimming. This is when my mind gets in that happy place where it's not so focused on the to-do list and it can think
Oh
a little more
yeah.
freely. In fact, I remember in a yoga class a while back, we were holding a pose. It was a warrior two pose, one of the yoga poses.
Uh-huh.
And we were holding it for a long time. And my legs were getting a little tired, my arms were getting a little tired. And I heard the instructor say, I want you all to think about where's the effort and where's the ease. Well, the first part
Mm.
of that's easy to think about. My legs and arms were really tired. That's where the effort was. But then she asked us some playful questions. What about the tip of your nose? Is it tired? What about your eyebrows? Are they doing okay? And in doing this, she was reminding us that even when you're doing the most difficult things, there's something that's a little bit easier. And
Mm.
I use this a lot with my clients when they're trying to put together a presentation and they're really frustrated because there's some complex information they need to share and they may not know that so well. I try to really have a discussion about, okay, that's effort for you, but where in the presentation is a little bit easier? Where's the content you know better that you just can roll off the tip of your tongue so that it doesn't quite feel so daunting? So
Oh,
thankfully for
wow.
yoga, I now have a tip I can share with my clients.
Wow, that's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think like I don't know. I mean, I think like when you said that you got inspiration from like movement, I thought you might mean that like those are the times that like you might be thinking creatively too. But I think it's cool that you actually like learned a lesson from like that yoga class that you had that day. And I think that's something that we often forget when we're doing something hard, that like we're actually good at something else in that, but then we just
Yes.
only look at the negative, and then that just makes us feel like so bad and like scared. And I think that's really nice that you kind of empower like the people that you help that way to be more positive. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, and then to answer the second part of your question, which I forgot
yeah.
for a second,
Oh yeah, no
where do I use
worries.
creativity in public speaking, in
Yeah.
particularly in public speaking coaching? So pretty much all over the place. Starting when I first meet a prospective client, they call me because they're struggling with public speaking, but they don't always know exactly what the struggle is.
Oh,
So
okay.
I need to think creatively about trying
Hmm.
to figure this out. Some of my clients, it's the sound of amplification on their voice when they speak over a microphone. That's
Oh.
just so overwhelming for them.
Mm.
Others have so much information and they need to jam it into an 18-minute or a 10-minute TED talk, and that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Others have been asked to speak and they don't know what they're going to say. So I need to have a whole series of creative questions to really start to drill into,
Mm.
yeah, but what exactly is the challenge? And the more we know, the more we can figure it out. So I use it early on. I use it in workshop creation when I'm putting together workshops for large groups and they have very varied needs and confidence levels. So I
Mm.
really need to tap into creativity. And also when I'm coaching them one on one. As an example, when I'm giving feedback, I have some clients who are confident and bold and can take blunt, direct feedback.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
have other clients who can't, who are more sensitive, who are struggling, who are concerned about public speaking. And I need to use my creativity to deliver that feedback in a way that works for them and helps them grow and doesn't shut them down. So
Mm.
honestly, I'm using creativity all the time in what I do.
Wow. Yeah, that's very interesting. And I think like it's kind of sounds like a puzzle that's like specific to each person that you're working with. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've spoken to like even like psychologists and like psychiatrists, and they kind of say something similar where they have to be creative in their approach for each person. And it's like um, you have to always, you could also might have to think outside the box sometimes, like depending on
Yes.
if you've, oh, I've never seen someone who's been afraid of this specific aspect of public speaking or something. And like,
Yeah.
I bet there's always like something new that you're kind of learning. So that's really cool.
Always learning something new. I love that part
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Um, yeah, and this next one is a fun one, but can you share a memorable or challenging moment in your journey and what you learned from it?
Sure, sure. I'll share both if that's okay,
Sure,
because they
yeah.
they both they both taught me a lot in very different
Oh
ways.
yeah, of course.
In terms of a challenging learning thing,
Hmm.
I was let's see, what was I doing at the time? I was in marketing at Hewlett Packard, and I was often pulled in to do presentations at a group that was called the Executive Briefing Center,
Mm,
where our
okay.
executive clients would come in and they would get briefings, presentations on our products and where our products were going in the future. And I did a lot of these. And quite honestly, I was getting a little bit too comfortable with these presentations. So I noticed on my calendar, I had a sales rep coming in who I had worked with before. I had a client coming in who I had worked with before. And I just figured, I'm just going to wing it. So I grabbed some slides. I didn't really think about my content. I didn't rehearse, which I should never do. and I gave a very mediocre presentation. My sales rep was gracious, the client was gracious, but a few hours later, after the client had left, the sales rep called me and berated me, and he should have. I
Oh.
did a terrible job. I was not proud of what I did. So the lesson I learned was don't wing it. Put the
Mm,
time in, whether it's in presentation or something else that you're doing. If it matters to you and your own reputation, your own sense of accomplishment, put the time in. And in the case of
mm,
presentations, it's really think about the content you want to put together, making sure it's perfect for your client, and then doing the rehearsals so you go in there confidently and do the right job. That was a
mm.
tough lesson for me, but it has stayed with me for a very long time. So, on
Wow.
a brighter note, something that's memorable that also
Yeah.
taught me. Luckily, I have a lot of memorable moments because I get to help people overcome their fear and I get to see them
Yeah.
succeed and share stories, and
Hmm.
all of that is so fun. But one really stands out. This is a young woman who was giving a TED Talk a while back, and
Mm.
her TED Talk was about her own anxiety about life and about public speaking. So it
Oh,
was it
okay.
was a little meta, and
Wow.
there was just a lot that's going on and a lot that she had to take on to do this. And we had multiple coaches, and all of us coaches knew that this was very stressful for her.
Mm.
So we kind of broke one of the TED rules and allowed her to read her talk, which is almost never done in a TED setting. We
Mm.
had a music stand in front of her, she had her iPad, and she was reading her TED talk, looking down pretty much the whole time. This was what she needed to do to accomplish this. We did offer her a challenge that if she was able, for the very last section, just the close of her presentation, if she could possibly break away from the music stand, look up at the audience, and say the last piece, talking it without the notes. She wasn't sure if she could do it or not, but we offered her that challenge and let it be.
Hmm.
So we're all sitting in the audience and she's giving her talk and she's looking down and she's reading and she sounds great, but we could all tell she was reading, of course. And we knew that last line. We knew the last line she was going to say until that point where she may or may not look up. So she
Mm.
finishes that last line and we all wait with bated breath as she looks up at us and speaks without notes that last section. Oh
Wow.
my gosh, Avni, it was amazing. The audience erupted, everyone was on their feet
Oh.
cheering for her. And it was such a lesson in we are all more capable than we think we are. And
Mm.
that sometimes we just need someone else who sees capabilities in us that we don't even know we have. It was a really memorable moment for me.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, I think like she must have like probably felt really nervous about that too, but I think it must have been just the fact that like she had chosen to kind of break away from her script and then like read the last part out loud. I think that must have, I feel like that might have had like she might have had a better connection like with the audience too, just by kind of looking at them, and I think that's really nice. And it's great that
Exactly.
you can kind of empower people to like do that and then like feel really accomplished in that way that they like overcame their fear. So that's very cool.
It is very cool. I love what I get to do.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. All right. Um, Now the next question is if you could collaborate with anyone, who would it be and why? And like what kind of project would you do together? Would it be like related to public speaking?
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Okay. It would be my dad, and he passed away February of last year.
Oh, okay.
I know, I miss him. I miss him dearly. And he and I both have this shared love of public speaking, always have. I mean, he had it long before I had it because I was just a shy little kid, but nonetheless, when I started my business back in 2017, he was the first person I called and I said, "Dad, I'm thinking of being a
Oh.
public speaking coach. Tell me everything you know about public speaking." And it was a long conversation. He knew a lot. And so I have all those notes. I refer to them all the time. And often when I'm coaching, when I'm doing workshops, when I'm doing these little 2-minute videos I call link lessons that I share on
Mm,
LinkedIn and in my newsletter, I
mm,
refer to my dad and some lesson that he taught me.
mm,
So I would love to be able to work with him on some sort of workshop to help people overcome their fear of public speaking, to help them share their stories better. um, because we just love this passion of public speaking. And he was my best public speaking coach ever.
Wow, that's very sweet. That's nice. Awesome. And I mean, I think that like working with another person would also kind of maybe change your perspective a little bit or kind of be able to incorporate like different techniques or um, approach it at a different angle or something. So that's very cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, he always had a great perspective.
Yeah, that's nice. All right. So, um, I mean, I know I mean, I'm in high school and like, this is like we're gonna be the next generation of people who are gonna be
Yes.
working and like, pursuing a lot of different fields in general. So, is there any advice that you would offer to young people pursuing any kind of creative or professional passion?
Oh gosh, so much, so much of me. Let me just narrow it down a little bit.
Sure.
I spoke of one earlier, this notion that we're all capable of more than we think we are, and it's important to surround ourselves with people who see things in us that we may not see. That's a big one.
Mm,
Another one is really pay attention to what you enjoy.
mm,
And it may or may not be a lifelong passion. It might be a short-term thing, and that's okay. It might be your profession, or it might just be a hobby that gives you happiness on the side because you have a hard job that's challenging and fascinating and interesting. So you need to have something that you enjoy on the
mm.
side. So always pay
Yeah.
attention to what you enjoy doing, regardless of what it turns out to be for you. Know that you're always learning. And one of the best ways we learn is to make a lot of mistakes. This is why
That's
I
so true.
love to share my failure stories with people so they see that you go through some things and you
Yeah.
learn a lot from these things. So there's a whole lot more, but I would say the number one piece of advice that I would pass on to a young person is to ask for help. And let me
Mm,
tell you why, because it took me a very big challenge to learn this. When I was at Hewlett Packard in sales, I had just started as a sales rep. And
mm,
my previous job was as a technical partner to a sales rep. They were called a systems engineer. So I, as a systems engineer, would go out on the call with the sales rep, do the demos, do the technical stuff, work with the engineering team, answer all the deep technical questions, kind of consider myself sort of a fix-it, all-knowing person, quite honestly. And then when I left that job and moved into sales, I was supposed to switch to just handling the sales and partner with systems engineers who would tackle all the technical stuff.
mm,
But I didn't. I tried to do it all myself.
mm.
So I was being an unsuccessful systems engineer and a very unsuccessful sales rep because I was trying to do it all. Well,
Mm.
my sales manager, of course, noticed this. She pulled me into a room, she closed the door, and she just said to me, Kristen, you can't do it all. You need to ask for help.
Mm.
Well, I started sobbing because it all came true to me. And I realized, oh my gosh, she's right. So
Mm.
this is something that I learned the hard way. And I hope by listening to this, maybe someone watching will learn this an easier way than I did. Please know you can't do it all. Whatever it is you're doing, you can't do it on your own. You can ask for help and know that there are so many people in the world that will want to help you.
Wow, that's really good advice. Yeah, I think that I mean, even if it's not in like a professional setting or even if
Mhm.
it's something personal to you, I think that like there'll always be some like maybe some family member or some friend or someone that you know that would be able to help you out because there's so many nice people in the world. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, that's really awesome. And I mean, I know I
Yeah.
like when you were mentioning the challenging moment and about like your presentation, that also made me think like sometimes we also have to give like small presentations in school and
Yeah.
like oftentimes I also don't like rehearse for those in case I'm like, oh, it's fine. How hard could this be? It can't be that bad. But then it obviously doesn't go as well as I had thought in my head
I
because
know.
like when you speak it out loud, it's so different. So that
Oh,
that's
so
so true.
different. So different. And this is something I work with my clients all the time. Like, if you're
Yeah.
going to rehearse, rehearse as if you're
Yeah.
standing in front of those people, use your full voice, your gestures,
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Because if you just say it to yourself, Well, if you don't rehearse at all, or if you just say it to yourself, or if you sort of mumble rehearse, none of those are the same as
That's
actually
so
getting
true.
those words out of your mouth. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Because like personally, I think like I've realized from just like giving presentations and like now I've been doing some research too, so then I've been like presenting it and I've learned that like I tend to mumble like or just ramble a lot on things. Like and it might be like not super like on a tangent, but I just go on and then I can't stick to like a time limit. So it's very hard. Like I have to practice that. So that's very
Yes,
true. And in my head, I think I know what I can say in 5 minutes, but it goes on and on.
I
So
know.
that's very true. And I think all of the advice that you gave is very, very valuable for us. And especially what you mentioned about doing what you like, because I think now as high schoolers, like we're all thinking, oh, what's the profession mate like we might be able to earn the
Right.
most money in, what's not going to be taken away by AI or a lot
Yes,
of things are going
yes.
on in our minds. So yeah, I think that's nice. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know this, you play piano. You obviously
Yeah.
love to do that, and hopefully it
Yes,
brings you a lot of enjoyment.
it does. And I definitely want to continue doing that like when I'm older, like always to have like some kind of a keyboard or something with me because I think it's been very meaningful to me. So, yeah, that's a really good piece of advice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Lang, for sharing your incredible journey and your insights with us today. And it's really been a pleasure hearing about your experiences and the passion that you bring to public speaking. I'm sure that our listeners have gained a lot of valuable inspiration from your story. And to everyone tuning in, thank you for joining us on this episode of Art from Heart Beyond the Canvas. We really hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. Be sure to subscribe and stay connected for more exciting episodes exploring the intersection of art and creativity in all its forms. Until next time, stay creative.
Thanks, Avni.